So, Atmaram, you want to say something to the devotees who have chanted Bhagavad Gita or recited? Prabhuji, unmute karo, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gita Jayanti Mahotsav ki jai. So on behalf of ISKCON Calgary and Radha Madhav Cultural Association, we'd like to thank you all who participated in our first ever Gita recitation, which was nicely completed in time. Our thanks also goes to devotees who very eagerly participated in distributing Bhagavad-Gita door to door, and the devotees who sponsored the Bhagavad-Gita in our Sastradan project. Our thanks also goes to our media group, organizer, Sorochan Hari Prabhu and Dwarkadis Prabhu. And I also like to thank Raja Ram Das for organizing such a nice program. So, and it was, everybody really enjoyed it. So thank you all for participating on this program. I also like to tell, if anybody needs a calendar, please contact devotees, Raja Ram Das or Acharya Nidhi Das, if devotees are living in Northwest. And if you're living in Northeast or Southeast, please contact Achyuta Mohan Das if you want, if your calendar hasn't been come to your house. We will drop it to your door. Hare Krishna. Dr. Prabhu?
So we will carry on with the auction ceremony. So on this auspicious day of Gita Jayanti, it's also very auspicious Ekadashi also. We want everyone to take this opportunity. So anyone who would like to go ahead and raise a hand, or they can just come up and say, okay, which Gita would you like to have? And you can see Shishi Radha Madhav on your screen right now. So all the Gitas that are available on the altar, you can pledge some donation that will be going towards Gita Sankirtan donation collection, and you will get this opportunity of having Maha Gita from the altar. So in about 5 minutes, Amogh Lila Prabhu will be joining us. If we can quickly, devotees who are on the Zoom call, and I request everyone, Amogh Lila Prabhu will be very happy to see you all if you can turn on your videos. Because when someone is speaking, if they can see the participants, it will be nice for them. They can interact with all of you. I see Edmonton devotees joining us. Welcome to ISKCON Calgary Zoom meeting channel. So
Prakash Prabhu, if you can go over the donations for the books on the altar.
yes, so the Bhagavad-Gita that Radharani is holding in her hand, it's English version. So the minimum donation we have set for that Bhagavad-Gita is $108. So if anyone wants to start, and anyone who goes beyond $108 gets the Bhagavad-Gita. Special mercy from Srimati Radharani. Anyone? No devotees? Oh,
108, Prabhuji.
okay.
Lina.
Okay.
110.
Haribol, 110, Lina Ben and Raju Bhai. Anyone else? I see from Edmonton, Krishna Kshetriya Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu, we'll do 108.
There is $110 for that.
Okay, we'll do 111 then.
111 from Krishna Kshetriya
115.
Prabhu. 115 from Lina Ben. Rajaram Das Prabhu, this is a good opportunity. I see Monica Patel, she took a Gita last year, I remember. How about taking one Gita this time and sponsoring it and giving it to one of your friends? I see devotees joining us from Brampton, Toronto. So last call, Lina Ben, I think $115. I think we will let it go to Lina Mataji.
Haribol, thank you.
Oh! Lina Mataji, whenever, just contact me and you can collect the Bhagavad-Gita. I'll keep it safely for you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Congratulations on this auspicious gift that you're getting from Srimati Radharani.
Yeah.
Anyone else? We have some different languages also available. We have
I want to donate $51 from Dilip and Urmila Malik family.
okay, nice Prabhuji. So which
How
language?
how to pay?
We can coordinate on it.
Okay,
You can
I'll
directly
coordinate with
contact
Rajaram.
Atmaram Prabhu or myself.
Okay. 51 for Dilip and Urmila Malik. Thank you.
Dilip.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
No, thank you so much, Mataji, for coming forward. I see Amogh Lila Prabhu is here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, one second, Prabhuji. Everyone should mute their.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm honored.
His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhu ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, aap sahi bhakton ki jai. All grace to all the devotees there in Calgary and surrounding areas.
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm really honored to welcome you to our Zoom session at ISKCON Calgary. We have our temple president also with us, His Grace Atmaram Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanwas to
Hare
you.
Krishna, Lila Prabhu. We really are really appreciate you coming over and helping us out for our preaching program. Hare Krishna.
You know what to say, Prabhuji? It's an auspicious day of Gita Jayanti. So I know you celebrated it yesterday and Canada because it's 12 hours behind. So we are celebrating it today and we are getting this fortune, to go live with you. Otherwise, you were so busy. Amogh Lila Prabhu was so busy yesterday. And from his busy schedule, we appreciate that he has taken some time out to, come and bless these fallen souls of Canada, Calgary devotees. I'll quickly give a quick introduction and then we will proceed with the lecture. So His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhu, most of you who are present here on Zoom as well as on Facebook. Ji Prabhuji?
I said just keep it short.
Yeah. So
No, I'm very embarrassed.
he is the Vice Temple President of ISKCON Dwarka Temple right now. And Prabhuji is in charge of the new temple project, which is close to 200 crores, yeah? 150, that's what I know. So I'm saying 200 so that you get more donations.
Wow.
And then he is a visiting faculty in many colleges like IIM Ahmedabad, has pursued his BE degree from IPU Delhi. He has also worked while he was working after his graduation. He has also worked in big companies like HCL and HP. He is spiritually oriented from his childhood in bhakti. So his parents were into bhakti and he had that from his childhood. He is an amazing youth preacher, as we all know, an amazing YouTube star, well known as YouTube star. So his videos that went viral about few years ago, that's when Amogh Lila Prabhu was well known on internet, and that's how everyone wants to associate with Amogh Lila Prabhu. And I am that one of them that I really I don't miss a single lecture, Prabhuji. If it's not on my Ashraya, if it's not on ISKCON Dwarka, I'll go anywhere and try to look for it. And you inspire so many souls, Prabhuji. And I'm really thankful, Prabhu, that you came along this Zoom session journey with us. And I hope that we get out something really good out of this session. And so the purpose of this Zoom session will be, first of all, the Gita Jayanti we are celebrating. So if you can motivate devotees to do more and more book distribution. Then we will take later on, we will take some question answers also. And I'm sure the question answers will be regarding what the purpose of this today's session is, okay, we are having so many difficulties in our day-to-day life. So how can we get something out of it, and what Bhagavad Gita is teaching us? So I'll hand it over to you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. My kind word. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Today is auspicious Gita Jayanti day over there. So certainly it's my privilege to speak something about Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says that Gita is my heart. There has been no scripture where the Lord has said that this is my heart. So Lord Krishna is saying that Gita is my heart. And in fact, Lord Krishna also said that Gita is my guru. Wow. So that's the glorious position of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So I'll just try to speak something about Bhagavad Gita. I'll just sing Jai Radha Madhav shortly, and then we'll start. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad Gita is very, very important scripture, and the proof that how much it was important for Srila Prabhupada, that when Srila Prabhupada came to America, then in USA he would have Dr. Radha Krishna's version of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and he would teach from that. And he said that 90% of the content is okay, 10% is little left right, but 90% the content is okay. But then later on, then Srila Prabhupada he published his own Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which got lost, and then Srila Prabhupada again translated Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So that is, we can see that our founder Acharya was so much fond of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita establishes the Siddhanta of the Lord so beautifully, so wonderfully. And that way he had every day in the evening Srimad Bhagavad Gita classes. In fact, Srila Prabhupada had this sandwich program. We should have Srimad Bhagavatam class and then services, and then in the evening we have Bhagavad Gita class. So Bhagavad Gita, what does that Bhagavad Gita mean? Bhagavad Gita means it's a song of God. And because it's a song of God, so that is a song. Usually in this world also we see that songs have the potency to relieve the person from stress, anxiety, indecision, the sense of insecurity, and all this kind of software mess up in our heads. So that is songs, they have this potency. And that's why we see that people hearing Hollywood songs and Bollywood songs and Tollywood and Zollywood and so many kinds of songs. So when Arjun was in stress, so at that time he also approached Lord Krishna. So Krishna said, okay, you want Hollywood, Bollywood, Zollywood, Tollywood, which one you want? So then Arjuna said, well, I want Krishna wood. And then when God sang a song that is known as the song divine by Supreme Lord Krishna, that is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Once Srila Prabhupada, he gifted Srimad Bhagavad Gita to Gyani Jayal Singh. And Gyani Jayal Singh, when he came to meet Srila Prabhupada, and then he had this Bhagavad Gita, as he left, so he touched Bhagavad Gita to his head. and then he just moved out. So devotees, they came back to Srila Prabhupada, mentioning that Srila Prabhupada, that person, Gyani Jayal Singh, he touched Bhagavad-Gita with his head, honoring Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. And then Srila Prabhupada said, oh, he respected Bhagavad-Gita like this. In future, he will get the highest regard, the highest honor of our country. And we see that 7th president of India was Gyani Jayal Singh. So that means because he touched Bhagavad-Gita to his head, honoring Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the result was that Srila Prabhupada blessed him, and Bhagavad Gita also blessed him, that he became the 7th president of India. So Bhagavad Gita is so amazing actually, that it can bless a person in all the spheres of his life. We see that Bhagavad Gita nowadays, whether contemporary personalities or ancient personalities, saintly personalities, scholarly personalities, they all appreciate Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Like Albert Einstein used to say, when I see the scientific discoveries and the phenomena of creation mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, our theories appear superfluous. That's what he said. Wow, that's Albert Einstein. And also Mahatma Gandhi used to say, whenever doubts haunt me, I take shelter of the Bhagavad Gita, and then I receive the solace. So even Mahatma Gandhi also said. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he said, there is no better gift I have to give to the world, and there is no better gift the world can receive from me. So that's the greatest gift. Wow. Like now New Year is coming. So which is the best gift which we can give to the people? If we give sweets, the sweets can last for one night. That's it. At night I can have some sweets, and tomorrow morning I'll go to a toilet, and then all the sweets are gone in their all unified form. Whether it is kaleba, whether it is halwa, whether it is gulab jamun, they all become one form. Wow. So that gift lasts for one night. If somebody gives a diary, that lasts for 1 year, but Srimad Bhagavad Gita lasts forever. So that means Narendra Modi ji, the glorious Prime Minister of India, he said that there is no better gift I can give to this world, and there is no better gift the world can receive from me. In this world, whenever I meet an eminent personality, I give that person Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And since the Bhagavad Gita, which has been translated in most of the languages, is Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, so that's why Narendra Modi ji, he offers Bhagavad Gita as it is. Because in Japanese, there is only Bhagavad Gita as it is. In Chinese, only Bhagavad Gita as it is. More than 89 languages is Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is being translated. Wow, that's really amazing. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita is revered by so many great personalities. Even the famous book we have heard about, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey. In an interview, he mentioned that the maximum inspiration which he has taken from any book which inspired him to write this book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which all the managers and leaders of this world, they read, he said that Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a source of inspiration. Wow. So people might not have heard about Bhagavad Gita, but people have heard about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And also later on, he gave the sequel as well, the 8th habit. But all these, the content was inspired by Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We have some leadership coach or a CEO coach like Vivek Bindra in India. Is very famous, and he clearly says that I am a thief. I steal from Bhagavad Gita and I just sell out the content, and people appreciate me, but actually I'm just a thief. I'm stealing from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So he's also appreciating. Wow. Even great scientists like Vikram Sarabhai, he also appreciated Bhagavad Gita. He would read Bhagavad Gita regularly. Once he was in Bhabha Atomic Research Center and he was reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And then a new scientist who had newly arrived to join Bhabha Atomic Research Center, the scientist crew. So he saw Vikram Sarabhai that he was reading Bhagavad Gita. Now, this new scientist did not know that this person is actually Vikram Sarabhai. So he said, well, you are sitting in Bhabha Atomic Research Center and you are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You should have been reading some scientific book. And then Vikram Sarabhai smiled and continued to read. So one guy came and paid his salute to Vikram Sarabhai. So this new scientist asked that person that why you are paying your salute to this guy. Who is he? And this person said, you do not know? He's Vikram Sarabhai. He's a father of space program in India. So, oh, that's Vikram Sarabhai. I'm so sorry, sir. I'm very, very sorry. But so one question I have, that you are sitting in Bhabha Atomic Research Center and you are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. How come? And then Vikram Sarabhai said, Vikram Sarabhai is Vikram Sarabhai because Vikram Sarabhai is a student of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Wow. So even people from scientific community, they also appreciate Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, worldwide, Srimad Bhagavad Gita has received appreciation. And of course, Bhagavad Gita is, the content is so condensed that everyone can find the content relevant for themselves. How? Because Bhagavad Gita, it actually addresses a root. It addresses a root. It doesn't work on surface level. No. Just like somebody gets a pimple, so I may apply Clean and Clear, and then, or say Ultra Claricil. I don't know in Canada which cream is most famous for acne. But in case somebody gets an acne or a pimple, so we apply this cream, and then it disappears from here, but it appears from here. And then you can apply here, and then it appears here. Reason being, the blood is contaminated. The blood is not in good quality. So that case, if we go to an Ayurvedic doctor, you would say, well, instead of applying this cream and that cream here and there, you should first purify your blood. So you may take neem juice, you may take a safi, which is a Unani medicine. So that will purify your blood. Once your blood is purified, then this acne would disappear. So that ways we are addressing the problem at the root. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita also addresses the problem at the root. If somebody may ask, well, if Bhagavad Gita has got solutions to all the problems in life, what does Bhagavad Gita talk about parenting? What does Bhagavad Gita talk about scholarship? What does Bhagavad Gita talk about healthy husband-wife relationships? What does Bhagavad Gita talk about having a good job? What does Bhagavad Gita talk about job satisfaction? What does Bhagavad Gita talk about this and that? Okay, Bhagavad Gita doesn't talk really about all this in detail, that in case your wife is quarreling with you, what reply should you give to your wife? In case your husband is quarreling with you, how you should deal with the husband. So not this kind of solutions Bhagavad Gita offers. Bhagavad Gita offers that somehow, in case the software is corrected, then the hardware would automatically start working fine. Like those who know computer science engineering, if somebody knows even little about computer science, if the software is in right condition, the hardware works as per the software. So Bhagavad Gita, it just tweaks around the software part, and the hardware is taken care of automatically, like that. And that way people become tranquil. So Bhagavad Gita doesn't really get into problem solving. It helps us raise our consciousness and transcend the problem. And that's an intelligent way of dealing with the problems. Like, so for example, if there is a wall, and if I am to go to that side of wall, one way is that I start drilling it. One way is that I drill. Another is that I take a hydrogen balloon and just go above the wall and go to that side. That's intelligent solution. Easy solution, actually. So that ways we should understand that Srimad Bhagavad Gita, it helps us transcend the problems in life. It may not really give this solution and that solution. When the problem is no more problem in my head, then I do not have to seek solutions at all. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita is actually talking about grassroots level solution, which is to tweak around our subtle body, especially the mind. And Bhagavad Gita throughout, it addresses the mind. Like in English, we say, mind your own business. We never say body your own business. Why? Because out of body and mind, more important is the mind. And Lord Krishna is addressing the mind. Right from very beginning, Lord Krishna is addressing the identity, that we are not the body, we are soul. We are not the body, we are soul. We are not the body, we are soul. And Sri Prabhupada emphasized this so very much. Of course, somebody may say, well, that has been repeated quite a lot. Quite a lot. All right. Once somebody asked me that, Prabhuji, why is this repeated again and again, that we are not the body, we are soul, we are not the body, we are soul? Why is that so? Why this has been repeated? I asked him, are you North Indian or are you from South India? He said, oh, I'm a North Indian. I said, in North India, which place you are from? He said, Prabhuji, I'm from UP. I'm from UP. Oh, I see. What's your height? He said, well, my height is 5'10". Oh, acha, 5'10". Oh, great. What's your date of birth? My date of birth is 5th of September 1985. Oh, okay, great, great. Are you the body? He said, no, I'm soul. Oh, very good. So soul is 5'10". Soul took birth in 1985, and soul is you are North Indian soul. You are North Indian soul. So there are South Indian souls, and there are North Indian souls, and there are American souls, and there are Indian souls. There are black souls, and there are white souls, and there are women souls, and there are women and the men souls. Is it like that? So even though we may have heard this thing that I'm not the body, I'm soul, but as soon as we start communicating, as soon as we start speaking, as soon as we start responding or reacting, it is on the bodily platform. Just like in English, we say, "How is everybody?" Is somebody there? Is everybody there? Everybody, somebody, anybody, body, 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 body. Because body, 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 body. Everything is about body. So to address the identity that you are not the body and you are a soul, it's a revolutionary thing actually. When Indra Prabhu, when he first time he came to the Hare Krishna devotees, and he got this copy of Bhagavad-Gita, so he started reading the Bhagavad-Gita. One thing which really shocked him is that I'm not the body, I'm soul. So he was standing before the mirror, Indra Prabhu, and he was thinking that what I am looking now, this into the mirror, I'm not this. I'm living inside this. He was shocked. And he mentioned that I could not digest this side that I'm not the body. I could not digest it. And then next time when he went to the Hare Krishna temple, there one Mataji, she was cooking. And when the prasadam was ready, so she just called out everyone, "Oh, you lovely souls of Krishna, please come and have prasadam." And as Indra Prabhu, he heard this, he became so much convinced that this lady must be spiritually realized personality, because she has realized that we all are souls. And that's why she's calling out, "Oh, you lovely souls of Krishna, please come and have prasadam." Wow, that's really great. And that was the thing which convinced Sripad Indra Prabhuji to come and join the Hare Krishnas, because he could see that that which is mentioned in their books, they are practicing it. Identity. Wow. In this world, we see that identity is so much messed up. Once Shri Jayapataka Maharaj, he was in a printing press. And then in the printing press in Bengal, there was question paper which was getting printed. And Shri Jayapataka Maharaj, he took just one question paper. And the first question which was there, the question was, Tomar Porichoy Ki, what is your introduction? Who are you? And then Shri Jayapataka Maharaj, he approached the teacher who had come to print the question paper. So he asked, what kind of answer do you expect in this? And this lady said, well, we expect that if I write that I'm such a so and so, my age is so and so, I'm from North India, I'm from South India, that these are my hobbies, these are my likes, these are my dislikes. If somebody writes all of this, so we will give full marks. Oh, I see. And then Shri Jayapataka Maharaj said, in case if I write in this question, Tumar Porichoy Ki, if I write that I'm not the body, I'm a soul, and I am eternal servant of Krishna, how many marks would you give? Teacher said, well, don't mind Swamiji, such a stupid answer. Such a stupid answer. That I'm a soul. I'm not the body. This is like, are you a ghost or what? So that's certainly 0 marks. So in case somebody writes that I'm a body, one gets full marks. If somebody writes I'm a soul, then 0 marks. Wow. That's the nature of this world. In Bahrain, there was one question in the question paper. It mentioned that what do you mean by guts? And one guy left entire paper empty, entire page empty. At the bottom, he wrote, "This is called guts," and he got full marks. Teacher said, "Wow, what a creative way of answering! This is called guts," leaving entire page empty. So that is, we see in this world, if somebody gives a wrong answer, full marks. A right answer, 0 marks. About identity, if they answer like that. So that means in this world, people are having messed up identities. And because we have messed up identities, that's why we see that people are having misguided intelligence, misguided mind, and all that. Why? Because my identity is now misplaced. Oh, just like in mathematical problem, if in the first line, if I make a mistake, the rest, all other calculations would be futile. Why? Because in the first line, I have done the mistake. So Lord Krishna starts Bhagavad-Gita by addressing the identity. It's a revolutionary thing, where he's saying that, well, I'm not the body. I'm a soul. It's a big thing. And then Lord Krishna actually gets into dealing with our subtle body. Like for Arjuna, we see that the battlefield is outside. But for us, the battlefield is inside. If Lord Krishna had to inspire Arjuna just to fight, he would have said that, well, Arjuna, you are my dear friend. Yeah, just for the sake of our friendship. Fight, man. Just fight. And Arjuna would have agreed. There would have been just one verse in the Gita. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Arjuna Tvam Aham Mitra Asti Ata Tvam Kwarvanam Yuddha Karoti. That's it. One verse in the Gita. Tvam Aham Sakha Asti, Tvam Aham Mitra Asti, Bandhu Asti, Tvam Kwarvanam Yuddha Karoti. Wow. Done. That's it. Or he would have said, well, my sister Subhadra, she got married to you. So that means you are my Jijaji, I'm your Salaji. So, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Arjuna Tvam Aham Jija Asti Ata Tvam Kwaranam Yuddha Karoti. That's a single verse. Why 700 verses in the Bhagavad Gita? Just to inspire somebody to fight? Well, it's not like that. If we see the content of the Bhagavad Gita, it describes that it is talking about the battlefield which is within. A battlefield which is within. Because usually we are fighting with so many battles outside and we are trying to be victorious outside. But more important than that is to conquer the battlefield within. And that's why there is a saying, self-conquest is the greatest victory. Self-conquest is the greatest victory. So that means even somebody can conquer the world, like Alexander the Great, once he came to India. And there was one bhikshuk, one beggar. He was a devotee and he was sitting beneath a tree. So Alexander came with his army and he could see that there is a beggar and he's chanting the names of God and he's very relaxed. So Alexander, he could see this man, so relaxed, such a cool guy. He asked his minister, ask this man to respect me. And then that minister got down. He said, well, do you know who has come? Here is Alexander the Great, the king of the world. And this saintly person who was sitting beneath a tree said, well, he's not the king. He's not the king. There's someone who is even ruling him. And then Alexander, he said, how dare he say that? And then he got down from his horse and he had the sword next to the saint. He said, I'll just chop off your head. What did you say? He said, I said that you're not the king of the world. There's somebody who's ruling you as well. He said, how can you say that? How can you say that? He said, currently I can see that anger is ruling you. So that is, you are not the king. Currently you are ruled by anger. Anger is controlling you. And then immediately Alexander the Great, he could understand that, yes, what this man is saying makes so much sense. Like that. So that is to, even somebody can conquer the world, but self-conquest is very, very difficult. Like they're saying, people want public glory, but nobody wants private victory. But private victory is more important than public glory. In fact, first should come private victory, then should come public glory. If somebody has private victory, one can handle public glory. If somebody has not done the private victory, that means when nobody's watching me, at that time did I behave like devotee, then I deserve public glory. Otherwise, everyone is chasing after limelight, spotlight, name, fame, wow, influence, whoa. Great, sir, understood, but are you done with your private victory part? No. So that means if somebody has done private victory, then one deserves public glory. But how to have the private victory? That Srimad Bhagavad-Gita is describing how to have private victory. And that's why Lord Krishna, he revealed Srimad Bhagavad-Gita on the battlefield. Otherwise, Lord Krishna would have invited Arjuna to Dwarka. Hey Arjuna, next time come, we'll sit in Dwarka on sofa, we'll discuss Bhagavad Gita. And then Arjuna has come, and then Lord Krishna and Arjuna, they are sitting together on the sofa, and then they are having good time. And Lord Krishna says, Rukmini, bring some potato chips. I got my friend Arjun from Indraprasth. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Let's have some, okay, rose syrup you would like to have, yeah? Okay, all right. So bring some rose syrup also. Satyabhama, yeah, please. Bring some pakoras and jalebis. We are discussing Bhagavad Gita. Okay, please have pakoda and Bhagavad-Gita, pakoda, and we'll have Bhagavad-Gita also in parallel. Huh? Alright, and then Lord Krishna is having the juices and then pakoras and wow, and then Lord Krishna is revealing Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna in Dwarka. That could have happened. But Lord Krishna is revealing Bhagavad-Gita on the battlefield, reason being Bhagavad-Gita is inspiring us to fight the battle within. That battle is very difficult. But what all we need to do, all the do's and don'ts which are mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, that we need to follow. And then we can conquer the battlefield within, which is tough. Very, very tough. To conquer our negative self, to conquer our mundane self is so very difficult. But Bhagavad Gita is like that. So glorious. And Lord Krishna is also so much glorious that he has taken a very humble position of a chariot driver. Wow. And he's not attached to his profile being a chariot driver. He's not even attached to his profile being God. He has taken the position of a chariot driver. Now, how humbling can it be to be a chariot driver? Because there is so much noise all around. That's why the person cannot communicate by speaking. The warrior cannot communicate to the chariot driver by speaking. He communicates by kicking. So when the warrior kicks on this side, that means I have to turn the chariot this side. If the warrior kicks on this side, I have to turn the chariot this side. If in the center, that means I have to now stop the chariot. Wow. Lord Krishna was being touched by the feet of Arjuna from sunrise till sunset for 18 days. Wow. Amazing. How many of us would agree to this, that you ask your chauffeur, then my dear chauffeur, you sit backside, I will drive the car. In case you want me to turn the car right, give me a slap on my right cheek. In case you want me to turn left, give me a slap on my left cheek. In case you want me to stop the car, just pull my hair. Can we do that for 18 days from sunrise till sunset? Absolutely not. We cannot do that. But Lord Krishna is doing this. He has taken such a humble position. Wow. Amazing. And in between, as soon as he saw that Arjuna, he is requiring not a chariot driver, but a teacher, but a guru. He changed his profile from chariot driver to guru. Wow. And then he addresses him for 45 minutes, one muhurata, and then again got back to his profile as chariot driver. Amazing. That is Lord Shri Krishna. So Lord Krishna is not attached to his profile, being a chariot driver or being a guru or being God as well. So he is so much contribution oriented. He's not position oriented. In this world, people are position oriented. Until unless I have the post, then I can do something. Man, titles. People are after titles. I want to become a chairman. I want to become a vice chairman. I want to become president or vice president. I should want to become a senior manager or a junior manager or a board of directors and this and that. So people in this world are chasing more after the post and positions. And this is what they see to be synonymous to leadership. But leadership has got nothing to do with title. Leadership has got everything with influence. And we bring influence with purity. We bring influence by service. We bring influence by being humble. And that is what Lord Krishna is doing. He's not attached to his profile. He is there just to contribute. Just to contribute. Even after Mahabharat war, it got over. So everyone, they were very anxious to see that, okay, who got the man of the match? In entire all these 18 days, who got the man of the match? Who got the man of the series? So one person who was watching the entire Mahabharat, and that is Barbarik. Barbarik is the son of Ghatotkacha or grandson of Bhim. So, therefore, there's a story behind that how he wanted to join both the parties. Any party which is becoming weak, he would join that. And he was very powerful. So Lord Krishna told him, well, no, you should not do that. Just join the Pandavas. He said, no, I given my promise to my mother, so I'll follow this promise. Apart from this, you ask anything from me, I'll give it to you. Lord Krishna said, all right, give me your head. All right, he just gave his head. But he was very desperate to watch the Mahabharat war. So in the nearby hill, Lord Krishna installed his head to see the Mahabharat war and also give him divine vision that he can see each and every aspect of Mahabharat war. Because otherwise somebody is just looking from the hill can see that part of the war which is very near to the person. Otherwise, it's a huge ground, the battlefield. So Lord Krishna also gave him the vision that he can see each and every aspect of the war. See, all the Pandavas, they came to Barbarik along with Lord Krishna. Said, well, Barbarik, who gets the man of the match? You saw the match. And he was seeing, having this panoramic view of entire battlefield. Said, well, man of the match, man of the series, all this goes to Lord Shri Krishna. I could see that everyone is moving their swords and bows and arrows and throwing weapons, and then all these weaponries were there. But actually, I could see Sudarshan Chakra is killing everyone. Sudarshan Chakra was moving all above this battlefield. Everyone was getting killed by Sudarshan Chakra. So if he's a man of the match, Krishna. If he's a man of the series, Krishna. That's it. So Lord Krishna did everything. Oh, 166 crore people, they died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. But they all went to Vaikuntha because they were killed by the Sudarshan Chakra. Amazing. And Lord Krishna did everything. Yet at the end, he doesn't say, okay, now what's for me, man? I did so much on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. I also spoke the Bhagavad-Gita. So what's in it? What's there for me? So Lord Krishna is more contribution oriented. So that is what we see from the cover page of Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, that Lord Krishna is ultimately, he is driving the whole thing. Of course, we have to fight our own battles, but Lord Krishna would be there to guide our battles. He would save us. Yes. Like Karna, when he shot his arrow to cut off the head of Arjuna, Lord Krishna at that time, he took both of his fists and give a jolt to the horses so that the horses, they kneel down. And because the horses, they knelt down, that's why the arrow of Karna, which was supposed to cut the head of Arjuna, it hit the helmet of Arjuna, and in this way Arjuna was saved. So Lord Krishna saved him many times. Even after Mahabharata war, when it got over, so usually the etiquette is that the chariot driver, he gets down and he escorts the warrior. That's Your Highness, and he come down like that. But at the end of the war, Lord Krishna, he said, Arjuna, you get down. He did not follow the etiquette. Lord Krishna did not follow the etiquette. And Arjuna was thinking that, all right, as you say, since we are friends, so I follow etiquettes. In friendship, everything is okay. So Arjuna just got down and said, yeah, I'm down now. Krishna said, okay, now go a little farther. I said, okay. So Arjuna went a little farther. And then Krishna said, even more. Yeah, little more. Okay. And then Lord Krishna, as he stepped down from the chariot, the entire chariot burst into pieces, actually. Actually, throughout the war of Mahabharata, so many missiles and weapons were being shot on the chariot of Arjuna. But Lord Krishna was absorbing all those attacks. And that way the chariot remained intact. Wow. So Krishna was protecting Arjuna throughout, even though Arjuna was fighting. So similarly, in our battles, when we are fighting, Lord Krishna protects us. Lord Krishna protects us. So we do not know when he's protecting, when, in what way, we do not know. But Krishna is protecting us. How, when, in what way, it's beyond our intellectual capacity. It is supracognitive. But yes, Lord Krishna is doing that. But we must fight our battle with all earnestness, and that is very important actually. So that is Lord Krishna. He spoke this glorious Bhagavad Gita because so that Arjuna can be revived from his illusion. But through Arjuna, he's speaking all this Bhagavad Gita to all of us. Actually, just like during COVID-19, there are reporters and they ask the doctors. So Mr. Doctor, can you tell us that what all precautions should we take during this COVID-19 pandemic? Now, not that the reporter is having COVID-19, but on the behalf of the audience or the public, he is asking from the doctor. Similarly, Arjun is also asking questions from Lord Shri Krishna. No, but not that they are the doubts of Arjuna, but he is asking on behalf of all of us. And the Lord Krishna is answering them. Wow. So, because Arjuna is already a devotee, why not? And Arjuna himself, when he hears Bhagavad Gita, he hears for relishment. And Arjuna has heard Bhagavad Gita not just once, but many times. Many times he has heard Bhagavad Gita. Like once there was a great warrior, his name was Chandrahas. And he was also a great devotee of Lord Krishna. And then Arjuna challenged Chandrahas. Chandrahas challenged Arjuna. And then Arjuna said, before sunset, I'll finish you. I'll defeat you. Chandrahas said, okay, let us see. And then the battle ensued. all the arrows of Arjuna were completely mitigated, destroyed by Chandrahas. And finally, he took out Brahmastra. Arjuna, he took out Brahmastra. He shot Brahmastra on Chandrahas. Chandrahas even mitigated, nullified Brahmastra. That was like a shock. Brahmastra can be mitigated or nullified by this warrior. My God. And then he took out Narayanastra. Narayanastra was also mitigated and neutralized by Chandrahas. Now Arjuna was thinking, oh my God, who is this man? That was a bhakti of actually Chandrahas. That was a bhakti. That even Narayanastra and Brahmastra would not harm the devotee because he's such a glorious devotee. And then Arjuna was so much nervous that he said, well, Krishna, please narrate Bhagavad-Gita to me. And then Krishna said, you take vows, and then when everything is messed up, and then you say, well, I want to hear Bhagavad-Gita. All right. And then Lord Krishna again, he narrated Bhagavad-Gita to Arjuna. Arjuna heard that Bhagavad-Gita once again. And then he said, okay, now you take out Janardhan Astra. That is my Astra. I will personally sit on the arrow and then shoot me towards Chandrahas. And then Arjuna took out the arrow. Lord Krishna personally sat on the tip of the arrow, and then he shot that arrow on Chandrahas. And Chandrahas also shot the arrow. Now Chandrahas' arrow is here, and here is the arrow of Arjuna. Chandrahas' arrow even pierced Janardhan Astra. Oh. So this part of the Astra went to the lotus feet of Chandrahas. And this Astra, this part of the Astra, the arrow of Arjuna, it moved towards Chandrahas' neck. And Chandrahas' neck got cut. And as his head was rolling on the ground, he was taking out Krishna's name. Oh Krishna, hey Govinda, hey Murari, hey Shyam Sundar. And then when Arjuna saw this devotion of Chandrahas, he was shocked. He was amazed by that devotion. But in this time also he heard the Bhagavad-Gita. Wow. So that is Bhagavad-Gita is so very important. So we should read Bhagavad-Gita and we should distribute it as well. Srila Prabhupada used to say, if you want to get Krishna, give Krishna. When you give Krishna, you get Krishna. When you give Krishna, you get Krishna. When you give Krishna, you get Krishna. So we should also give others Krishna. When we give wealth, our wealth is reduces. But when we give the wealth of Krishna consciousness to others, our Krishna consciousness gets enriched. So we should also read Srila Prabhupada's books, especially Bhagavad Gita, and we should also distribute Srimad Bhagavad Gita. During this marathon time, we should go out and distribute. Of course, I don't know how much people are comfortable now talking to because of this COVID thing. But yes, at least we can do it online. We can give a tagline. We are not Amazon, but we are amazing. We also supply online books. And then you can supply this amazing Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We have started doing this seva. And already more than 6,000 Bhagavad Gitas. Just in the month of December, we have distributed online. So that is, it is possible. We can do that. So, and we do not know where, when Bhagavad Gita would reach to, which person, and how their life would be transformed. We never know. So we should actually distribute Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In fact, one story recently came in one of the articles that, and one devotee was sharing on the Sankirtan letters that he was in West, he was trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita. And one Christian lady, very hardcore Christian lady, she said, oh, you are a Hare Krishna monk. He said, yeah, please come inside, come inside. And he came inside and he saw one beautiful deity of Jesus Christ, around 6 feet tall, marble deities of Jesus Christ. And he saw such a beautiful deity of Jesus Christ. And then he said, wow, he's so beautiful. You have deities of Jesus Christ? But usually idol worship is condemned in Christianity. But how come you are worshiping Jesus Christ? She said, actually, Jesus Christ came to my dream twice. First, he came to my dream and he mentioned that I should give up non-veg. I used to eat non-veg like anything. So that way, he instructed me in the dream, I should give up non-veg. Once I gave up non-veg, so after 6 months, again he appeared in my dream. He said, bring my deity. Whenever divine form of God or his messenger is worshipped, it is not idol worship, it is known as deity worship. So that way you bring that form of mine. So that way I got this form of Jesus Christ in home, because Jesus Christ came to my dream and he instructed my like this. And then thirdly, then after 6 months, again he came to my dream and he said that one Hare Krishna monk will come to you and he would offer his the books he has. So you should purchase those books, especially Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And that's why as soon as I saw you, I could see that here is a Hare Krishna monk, and I purchased all the Bhagavad Gitas from you, all the books from you, especially Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Wow. So we do not know how, when, who is waiting for the glorious Bhagavad Gita. You never know. One lady in India, she was doing her PhD in atheism. And she had done her PhD. Almost she was done with the thesis. She was about to submit her thesis in next month in her college. And then she would get the PhD degree that there is no God. Great. All right. So she was just there waiting for the red light to get over in the traffic on the roads. And one devotee came, knocked on the window of the car and said, "Ma'am, Bhagavad Gita for you. Please have it." And then she was thinking that although I'm done with my thesis, maybe this would contribute to my thesis. And then she took this copy of Bhagavad Gita and she started reading this copy of Bhagavad Gita. She had just completed 3 chapters. Just 3 chapters. She took thesis in her left hand and got a lighter, right hand, and had the divine union of the thesis and the lighter. She burned all the thesis to ashes because she was convinced that God is there. I did my PhD in Nirishwarvad, that there is no God, but God is actually there. And then she went to the nearby temple in Noida, in Delhi, nearby Delhi, and then wow, and she joined and then she started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 rounds very soon, offering bhoga. And now she is an initiated disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Wow. So how can Bhagavad Gita, just 3 chapters, can transform a lady who has done PhD in atheism? Incredible. So that is the potency of Bhagavad Gita, that how Bhagavad Gita can transform somebody so beautifully. All right, I'll stop here. I'll just take few questions. Just give me 2 minutes break. I'll just relieve myself and just come and serve you once again.
So, Hare Krishna, everyone. You can all be ready with your questions. If you can raise your hand, I can start unmuting those devotees who will be wanting to have some questions for Amogh Lila Prabhu. It's a good opportunity. Please don't miss this opportunity. You know, often we have questions when we listen to his lectures online, and we don't get the opportunity to ask them. Yes, I can see Mona Mataji there. I can see Kadamba Priya. So when I ask you, you can unmute and then ask your question. I have few questions. Devotees have texted me, so we will take those as well. Once again, I would like to thank Raju Bhai and Leena Mataji to sponsor, and they have donated $115 towards Radharani's Gita that she was holding. And Dilip Bhai and Urmila Ben has also donated $51 towards a Gita from the altar. I see another raised hand, Shobha Radhe. So, as soon as Prabhuji is back, we will. Did you all enjoy the lecture? Hari Bol.
Very well, yes. Very nice.
So those devotees living in Calgary hasn't received a calendar from ISKCON Calgary. We have some more calendars available. You can either contact Atmaram Prabhu, myself, Acharya Nidhi Prabhu, or Rajaram Das Prabhu. We will get it delivered to you. We'll make sure you get one.
Also, after the question and answer, we'll be having a small presentation on Sastradhan project by Anutama Das Prabhu. So please don't go away.
Yes, Prabhuji is back. So I will ask Kadamba Priya to unmute and ask your question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Am I audible, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Clearly, yes, hear you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Prabhuji, first of all, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, that you are for inspirational class. Even like I heard the Mahabharata and the Ramayana series, and I just finished Ramayana series yesterday, and we'll be starting Untold Ramayana. We already reached 20, but I will be starting now. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your great efforts. So, Prabhuji, I have few questions, if you permit, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Prabhuji, Ji Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah, please.
Ji. Prabhuji, like in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna mentions that one who reaches the spiritual world in Goloka Dham, he never falls down. But then, Prabhuji, like, how come we came, but we also hear that if in spiritual world somebody develops ego with Krishna, then Krishna sends him here because we want to enjoy independently. So then it's a contradiction, Prabhu, here.
Yeah, actually, as per the Shastras, as per Srila Jiva Goswami in Bhagavad Sandarbha, as per Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaya Dharma, and many of the statements in Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as Srila Prabhupada, it is clear that we have not come from Krishna Lila. That it is not that we were in Lila, we were with Krishna, and then all of a sudden we became, something happened to us, and then we said, Krishna, I want to enjoy independently, you know. And then Krishna said, come on, do not go, please. I said, no, I want to enjoy independently. I also want to have my gopis, please. And then I fell from, and I jumped from Golok Vrindavan, and then I entered the material world. There is no such thing like that. Just like you will see people in this world, they are not conscious that there is Golok Vrindavan. In Calgary, if you go, just go outside and ask anyone, say, do you know about Golok Vrindavan? There is Lord Krishna, Yashoda Maiya, Radharani, Nanda Maharaj. Huh? This guy would say, are you okay? Are you in your senses? What's wrong with you? What is this Goloka? We know about Vancouver, we know about Calgary, we know about Canada as a whole. What is this Goloka? Where is it? Is it near Alaska or Iceland, Greenland? Just like people in this world, they are absolutely not conscious about Goloka. Similarly, in Goloka, nobody has consciousness that there is material world. They're least conscious of it. And there is no consciousness, not just least, there is no consciousness that there is a material world actually. So we do not come from the Leela of Lord Krishna. And then Sri Jiva Goswami gives example, just like the son is present in the semen of the father. So the son is there with the father, but the son is not really in the activities of the father, but he is there with the father. Similarly, we are there at the Tatastha Shakti Jivas, we are with the Lord, but not that we are in the Leelas of Lord Shri Krishna. And then we felt envious of Krishna, we became egoistic and all that. So, but to simplify the whole thing, Srila Prabhupada said, we have come from the kingdom of God and we have to go back to kingdom of God. He just kept it very simple. That's so that we do not dwell, okay, how we felt, then what happened at that time, how much knowledge I had, how much knowledge I was not having. So instead of getting confused about this, he kept it very simple. We have fallen from the spiritual world. Now we have to go back to spiritual world. As simple as that. We are from Krishna's family. That's it. So that way we can understand that we have not come from Krishna Leela as such. You should not think like that. And but yes, we have come from spiritual world of Mahavishnu. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he addresses this in Jaya Dharma, that how for a soul, both material world and spiritual world are there in his purview. And then at that time we make a choice. So it is just choice which becomes the cause of our coming to the material world. But also coming to the material world, not that immediately we become the pigs and dogs. No, we get very, very exalted human form in Brahmalok, so that we can do tapasya, sadhana, and go back to spiritual world there and then. But when we do not do that, then we have to come to the material world, sinking into material world more and more. So that's my opinion. So we should not think that we are coming from Krishna Leela. We were there with Radharani and Krishna, yet we felt envious of Krishna. So it does not happen. Jai Vijay thing, sometimes people quote, Jai Vijay, they also fell from the spiritual world. That was not really a fall. that was to facilitate the Lila of the Lord, because Lord wanted to fight with someone, so of course who can do that role other than a devotee. So that's why that's a special case, but that's not really a fall down, feeling envious of God and then all that. No, it's not like that. Even Lord Vishnu, he said that actually Jay Vijay, getting cursed by Kumaras, it happened by his own will. In Bhagavatam it comes. So we have not come from Krishna Leela as such, but we have come from the spiritual world, Vaikuntha of Mahavishnu.
Can I ask another question, Prabhuji, if you permit so, Prabhu?
Please.
And Prabhuji, in Mahabharata, we hear that the Pandavas, when they left the body, they went to the Swarg. Just Yudhishthira Maharaj, he just saw the Nark for few seconds. Because he didn't obey it, for one of the reasons. And but then he went to Swarg, where he saw all the other Kauravas.
Partying. Yeah.
Yes, they were parting. But Prabhu, Swarg means they are in the material world, not in the Goloka or in the Vaikuntha. So I'm confused in these things.
World, yes.
Ji Prabhu? So
Yeah,
they were in the Swarg. Yeah, so even they were in the Pandavas, they were with Krishna, they were respecting Krishna. Still, they went to Swarg, not to the Vaikuntha planet or the spirit Goloka Dham. Why?
No, actually, when he went to Swarg, the Kauravas were partying. Duryodhan, Dushasana, they were having good time. Saw the Pandavas, his brothers, Draupadi. Said, what? My brothers, the Kauravas are in heaven. How come? And then he was with that. And as he was feeling entire the scene, Narka, hell. Then came on Indra and all the demigods, they were there. And then Indra explained to him. He said, do you know why you had to see Narka? You never went to hell, but you had to see the scene of hell. Why? Because when Lord Krishna told you to tell lie, you said, no, I am Dharmaraj, Yudhishthir. I'll tell the truth. When absolute truth is telling you to lie, then you should have lied. Because you spoke the truth when it was there that you had to say Ashwatthama is no more. It was false, but you were hesitating to say you were hesitating to say to tell a lie. But Krishna is telling Baba to tell the lie, then you should tell lie. That's it. We are not moralist, we are spiritualist. Because you follow morality instead of spirituality, that's why you had to see the scene of hell. But not that the Pandavas are in hell. They are always with the Lord. Actually, Pandavas have got a very unique position. Pandavas are not in Vaikuntha, which is beyond Brahmajyoti. The Pandavas are always there with the Lord. As the Lord is moving from one universe to another universe, doing the Leela, the Pandavas are also traveling with the Lord. So in a way, they are in a traveling Vaikuntha with Lord Shri Krishna. So they never went to hell. But the scene was displayed to, just like we have screensaver. In computer, we have screensaver. You move the mouse and the screensaver disappears. So it was a screensaver of hell, but that was not really hell, actually. But that's also given to him because he spoke the truth. He did not tell a lie. That's why.
Okay, so we will take next question. Mohini Murthy Mataji, you can unmute and ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. First of all, we'd like to thank you so much for accepting this invitation. We've been looking forward to hearing you. And there's not a single day that we don't hear your lectures. They're so good. And we feel so fortunate that Krishna has blessed us with people like you who give such nectarian discourses. So thank you so much. And I'd also like to thank the temple management for organizing this. Prabhuji, I had a question. How do we develop, the love? I don't know what to say, like to read Bhagavad-Gita, because I read it and sometimes I feel I'm not able to understand it. And so I get discouraged a little bit.
So Mati, of course, Bhagavad-Gita, as it is, in case you are studying, you can also take help of some study guides. Like we have Saran by Bhurujan Prabhu. We also have Gita Subodhini from Govardhan Eco Village. So we can take help of these study guides. They give us a nice overview of the whole thing, and how they are connected. Like, say, for example, say Surrender Unto Me describes how chapters are interconnected, how verses are interconnected. So that is, you can take help of some of the study guides to increase your comprehension about Srimad Bhagavad-Gita. And also, I would recommend that you should start preaching Bhagavad-Gita, because they are saying that teacher learns twice. First, studying and contemplating, and when we are teaching, then things become even clearer to us because I'm teaching them. So that way, you should start teaching. You can sometimes get hold of your husband and, hey, Pati Parmeshwar, listen Bhagavad Gita, and then he would say, please leave me, my no, please leave me. No, take this down. 1 MB download of Bhagavad Gita, which I have just recently understood. So give him a download. Next time he would take fetch from you. He would also give a counter download to you on. So that way, that would make your relationship sweeter as well, and at the same time, you'll have deeper comprehension of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Okay.
So we have next, where is it? Shobha Radhe Mataji. You can unmute and ask a question.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. So Prabhuji, first of all, I would like to thank you for this wonderful class and your classes which you are giving every day. We are hearing on YouTube, as we are like having different time span and different time zones. So Prabhuji, I want to pay obeisances to your mother, and I want to beg her blessings. As I'm a mother of 2 sons, I would request her to bless me so that I also raise my both of sons, Achyut and Balram, as she has raised you, an outstanding son and a pure Vaishnava. Prabhuji, actually, I have heard your lecture on parenting, and I have question related to that only. My elder son is 2.5 years old. It's maybe I'm asking this question very early, but still I don't want to miss any chance to train them properly. So Prabhu, actually my question is like, he's 2.5, and how can we start with him Bhagavad Gita, like reciting, and we are following your lectures, and me and my Prabhuji, we are doing the parenting technique, storytelling and everything. And but Prabhuji, like we are in a city in Canada, which we don't have any temple near us. The nearest one is 8 hours drive from our place. So we are running a small center at our place.
Wow.
Every Sunday we do programs, yes, with our Guru Maharaj's blessings. We are trying to do that. But Prabhuji, the challenge is like how to train them. Like right now they are like moving all the time, either udhar and all. But कैसे शुरू करें प्रभु? How to start with him?
He is just 2.5 years old. As he's grown, so that means in the beginning years, we give them more pampering, lots of prasadam, and motherly affection. When the child receives this motherly affection, pampering, of course, correction also when he is getting diverted. So when we do this, that gives a sense of identity to the child, even though it's a mundane identity, but the person gets a sense of identity. As somebody gets a sense of identity, one becomes mentally balanced to think something normal. You see that those children who have not received this love and care from their parents, such children, they live a very abnormal life. And those children who have received sufficient amount of love and care from their parents, they have this sense of identity which makes them mentally more stable actually. So currently you just focus on that and feed him nice prasadam, delicious prasadam, whether it is noodles or pasta or whatever the children like to eat. Just feed. Later on, of course, he's 2.5 years old. So whatever he likes to eat, just give him prasadam. And of course, as you are doing storytelling, so this storytelling would really inspire him, would help him. In case he straight away starts reading Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada's books, that's fabulous, that's perfect. But in case he's not able to do that, then let him read comics. Comics are also a good way to start reading, like Amar Chitra Katha also, it's good for children to start reading in case they can't connect to Srila Prabhupada straight away. So that is also helpful. And let them also explore other aspects of life, still keeping them in safe zone. So, and of course, facilitating some affordable spoilage. Like, for example, having ice creams in winters is a spoilage, but it's an affordable spot. So in this way, you make some kind of connection with the children, and then as they grow, they would explore bhakti and devotion in a due course of time. So please do not worry about that. And of course, regarding my mother, she was also not very pushy. She was fabulous cook. I was a very foodie person, so God made a perfect combination. A perfect cook, and if they come together, they have such a joyful experience with each other. So that is my mother also just she remained very friendly to me, would feed nice prasadam to me, and that's it. So you do that in a due course of time, you will see that the children they will come in contact with devotees, and then they will take to devotion service very seriously in future. Do not worry. I'll also pray for our
Thank you so
Achyuta.
much, Prabhuji. You always seek your blessings, Prabhuji. They always need your blessings to raise in bhakti, to your mother's blessings also.
All prayers, all prayers.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Prabhuji. Dandavat
This is the
pranam.
same question that we had also from Facebook, that how do we start with our teaching our children, they're young. What should we do that will motivate them towards reading Bhagavad Gita and stuff? But I think Prabhuji has clearly answered that. I will ask Raj Prabhu to unmute and ask your question.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
That was to you.
Yeah, Prabhu. First of all, thank you so much. You inspire me so much times and on WhatsApp and give so much of your important time to a fallen soul like me. It's amazing. Dandavat pranam to you also that you neglected all your life. You can have so many pleasures and all that thing, but you like neglected your life for all of us. Thank you so much. We all know you have the highest pleasure right now. We are nothing in front of those pleasure. Like it's really, thank you so much. How you can change, how you changed my life and so many other people's life. I can go around for a few hours, but it's a short thing. So thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhu. Prabhu, one small question I have. Is there a specific time we should read Bhagavad Gita? Because in this busy life, but where we live in Alberta or in Canada, you know how it is. It's just a go all the time. So many times you love to read Bhagavad Gita, but it's night time. You can still read it, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita in night time.
Yes, night time, afternoon time, twilight time, anytime you can read Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Okay.
So that is actually sometimes we like Srimad Bhagavad Gita reading into so much of rituals that these rituals they come between me and Bhagavad Gita, and that's why we are not able to. And that's how many people they have Bhagavad Gita wrapped up in red cloth, velvet cloth, and now Bhagavad Gita is lying since 1947 in that wrapped up in that red cloth. Jai Bhagavad Gita ki jai. That's it. No, we have to read Bhagavad Gita. Like you can also, in case you can always carry Bhagavad Gita with yourself, or you can get a Kindle for yourself, Kindle Paperwhite, get a Bhagavad Gita in it, and then always carry with yourself in case you are having a long drive, you are traveling, and you are also you are waiting for someone. Just open your Kindle, start having kindle your heart with knowledge, and then that is start reading. So we should read Bhagavad Gita whenever, because in Grihastha life we should not wait that once all the angels would be singing songs. Here is Raj Prabhu reading Bhagavad Gita. Here is Raj Prabhu reading Bhagavad Gita. All the angels they are singing, and the winds are blowing, flowers are blossoming, and then you are having your table and the Bhagavad Gita, and then here you are to read Bhagavad Gita. Well, such a time is never going to come. So that phase in our lives, we are so busy. In between, we have to find out time, some slots, some small slots, even 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Open the book, read it, go on. That's the way we can read scriptures. Otherwise, if we wait for the appropriate time, favorable time, the good times would come someday. Well, when we are having obligations and responsibilities, we do not know. So that phase, just start reading whenever possible. Please read as much as possible.
Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Prabhu, ask your question.
Okay, I think everyone is self-realized for the day. ठीक है जी. Thank you very much, devotees, for inviting me. It was really an honor for me to be amongst all of you, glorify Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, inspire you to, I don't know whether I inspired or not, but yes, I could speak few words. Thank you very much. All
Amogh,
very well.
5 more minutes, please. Atmaram Prabhu has a question. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhu. Your class was very nice. We really appreciate you coming over. I just wanted to ask, what kind of percentage of Jiva Atmas live in the spiritual world, and how many percentage live in the material world?
Okay, Shastras, there is no exact percentage mentioned, but since it is like in the universe, actually 3/4 is the spiritual world, like half is water filled. The universe is filled half with water. Okay, and then 1/4 is the Vaikuntha of Shirodakshaya Vishnu and Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So that's 1/4. So that makes 3/4 the spiritual part in the universe, and 1/4 is the material world within universe actually. But otherwise, there is if we say that how many percentage of souls are there, there is no percentage given. But since it appears that just like in a city, the jail is very small. So similarly, in the entire spiritual existence, material world is very small part. So very small percentage of souls say come to the material world. Even though this is also infinite, that is also infinite. So 90% of infinite is also infinite, and 10% of infinite is also infinite. So that is not exact number can be said, but yes, we can say that minority comes to the material world, but majority goes to the spiritual world.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, on behalf of Radha Madhav Cultural Association and ISKCON Calgary, we'd like to thank you for joining our World Gita Recital Festival here in Calgary. We really appreciate you giving us your association, Prabhu, and it was a very nice class. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
You are Atma Ram, you are self-satisfied, yet you are there to bless me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. I also like to remind our listeners, please don't go away. We are having a small presentation by Anutama Prabhu after all the question and answers season is done then. Jagadish Prabhu?
Pooja has a question, but Mataji, it's too late now. We will have to further go ahead with your questions with our program now. Sorry. I'll ask every devotee to chant Mahamantra for Amogh Lila Prabhu so that he can keep on, associating with us like this. And, he is so humble that he's so humble that he doesn't really take that pride, but all the devotees, knowingly, unknowingly, whoever comes in association with him, either by listening or by watching his lectures, they have committed, that Amogh Lila Prabhu is the one from him we got this inspiration and we became either brahmachari or either a full-time devotee, or he has solved our day-to-day life problems. And we really thank you, Prabhuji. Do not ever stop these lectures that you keep giving us. And yeah, and we will chant 3 times Mahamantra for Prabhuji, and then we can proceed with other program, and Prabhuji can leave. Thank you, Prabhuji. So I will ask everyone to unmute and loudly, everyone. Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Amogh Lila Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam.
Danvat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you
Prabhuji.
so much.
Danvat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Next we have with a please, we ask everyone to still we can all mute now. And Anuttama Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. Sure.
So, Hare Krishna, everyone. So my name is Anutama Das. I am a volunteer at the outreach at ISKCON Calgary, and we'll be talking about the Shastradan program. So with further ado, I'll offer my obeisances to Srila Prabhupada by offering our pranam mantra. So Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. I would also like to chant the English translation, which is I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Saraswati Goswami. You're kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva in the Western countries, which is full of voidism and impersonalism. So Hare Krishna, everyone. I'm going to be doing a presentation on our Shastradan project. And just briefly, I was a university student, 6-7 years ago, and I was trying to find the absolute truth. And I ended up finding a Srimad Bhagavatam in a used bookstore. And after reading it, it really changed my life. And I went from being totally lost towards finding the absolute truth. I came to Calgary in 2015. And Atmaram Prabhu, who's our temple president, put me in charge of the book distribution service, and I've been in that ever since. So happy World Gita Day, and great to organize and see this Gita chanting program, which is the culmination of awareness of Bhagavad-Gita. So I will just share my screen here, and hope you can see it. Can Atmaram Prabhu, can you see this? Shastradan.
Yes, Prabhu, yeah, we can see it.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to give about 20-minute presentation here. So thank you all for joining. And I thank ISKCON Calgary for giving me the opportunity for presenting. So I'll be talking about Shastradan, which quite literally means wisdom giving, and this is about our 2020 service. So oftentimes devotees worry, okay, what happened to all the books? What happened? We do a presentation, so we're doing this on Zoom. So just a brief overview of what Shastradan is. So it literally means donating wisdom, and it's a project that encompasses placements of the Bhagavad-Gita and other BBT publications in places frequented by the public. So BBT stands for Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. So Srila Prabhupada founded ISKCON as well as the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust for printing all the Vedic literatures. So this project is undertaken in various ISKCON centers, not just Calgary, across Canada, the United States, New Zealand, and India. And now we have over 750,000 Gitas distributed as part of the program. It initially started as a Motel Gita program, where the books were distributed to the various motels across the United States and Canada. And now we've expanded it to different places that are frequented by the public. So what's the goal of this project? So the goal of the project is to really share and preserve spiritual wisdom through mass book distribution. So we understand that if you look on the left, we had Lord Krishna here, giving knowledge unto Lord Brahmaji. So Lord Brahmaji has in his hand the Vedas, so has a book. And then Lord Brahmaji, we come in the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Sampradaya means to give. And Sampradaya also means tradition. So we have the tradition here of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who are taking the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and putting it into writing, into different scribes. And then you have, in the modern day saint, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, with all the necessary wisdom and literatures that we need in this age of Kali Yuga. So our goal is to share this knowledge with everyone and to preserve it in society, whether we move away from India or we live in different parts of the world. The knowledge will be with us because of Srila Prabhupada's mercy. So the inspiration is very much from Srila Prabhupada, who mentions that any page you open, that's wonderful reading matter. My ambition is to spread these books far and wide all over the world so that everyone shall read at least one of our books, and that will change his life or her life. If only 1% become devotees, that will change the world. That's by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada had a very broad vision where he wanted this Krishna consciousness and Vedic wisdom to be spread all across the world to all kinds of people. So here are some examples of where our Bhagavad Gita Shastra Dan program in Calgary have gone to. They have gone to motels, they've gone to hospitals. All the hospitals in Calgary have the Bhagavad Gita as it is paperback. They've gone to long-term care homes. They've gone to libraries, whether they're libraries in schools or they're libraries in universities. They've gone there. And they've also gone to the prisons as well, and in their library section as well. So these are the various different places where we have placed Bhagavad Gitas in the past, and we continue to do so. And a lot of these institutions appreciate us doing it. Just like the Gideons distributes the Bibles, we distribute the Bhagavad Gita. So just a year in review, just to show what we did in 2020. So we have an image on the left here of our shipment coming. We had a nice big pallet of boxes, and thank you to Dwarkadesh Prabhu for helping us store these Gitas. So the 2019 marathon, and when we talk about marathon, it's the book marathon, yielded sponsorships of 736 Bhagavad Gitas. So we wanted to thank all the sponsors from this year as well as last year who take your, you could spend your money in so many different places, but the fact that you're sponsoring Bhagavad Gitas, is such an auspicious activity, and we really want to thank you for that. So what we did after the sponsorships, we ordered the books right away. They were delivered in February 2020 in the snow, and all of the books were distributed by August 2020. So in about 6-7 months, we distributed all the books. So we want to thank all the sponsors and all those who helped in this project. So thank you. So another thing we did this year was the university outreach. So if you look on the top right, we have a presentation that happened from the University of Calgary. They came to our temple to learn about Vedic culture, Sanatana Dharma, and there were 13 Bhagavad Gitas distributed because of this program, because they're students. Students are traditionally very poor, they don't have money, so they come to our temple, they have darshan of the deities. You have Bamsi Bihari Prabhu who's giving class. You have Sarva Mangala Devi Dasi in the background. She brought cookies and herbal tea, prasadam. So we have prasadam, we have lecture, we have books. In this way, we have a nice team effort. So it's a team of volunteers who facilitate the Shastradan program as well. And ISKCON Calgary hosts university students to present them the practice of Krishna consciousness, and students are presented with a copy of Bhagavad Gita. So as you can see, the background image is during the COVID pandemic restrictions, and this was before the pandemic in February. So regardless, pandemic or no pandemic, we still do these programs to educate people at large and give them knowledge. And we have one of our volunteers, Bamsi Bihari Prabhu, was giving the discourse about Krishna consciousness. Then we went to Little Flea Library. So these are libraries that are presently there all over Calgary. So we distributed 600 Bhagavad Gitas in about 50 plus Little Flea libraries that are located in the neighborhood, in the cities, mostly in the northwest and the southwest neighborhoods of Calgary, where we put a book there and someone comes and they take a book and they read it and they keep it with them. So we had a lot of success with this program. It was very accessible. It was very easy. All you need to do is just take a book, go run around in your neighborhood, and I'll just show you a few pictures of what that means. So we have some stories here behind all these pictures. So we have Morgan who went and placed Bhagavad Gitas along with her son. So this is a fun for the whole family. So we want to make sure that those who want to take part in outreach programs, it's not just for some brahmacharis or someone who lives in the temple. It can be regular grahastas. You have a 9-to-5 job, on the weekend, once a month, you spend 2 hours, you go there. We had a nice summer. You ride your bicycle, put your Bhagavad Gitas in your backpack, you put them in there, and then get your sons, your daughters involved. It's fun for the whole family. This is Chinatown, and in the Chinatown we put some Chinese books because our BBT prints books in Chinese as well. So we said, hey, put a Chinese books right next to a Chinese Bible. So it's fun for the whole family. You can get involved, not only Bhagavad Gitas, but we put small books, higher taste. More people are cooking in because of restaurants being closed or whatnot, and spiritual yoga, perfection of yoga. So these are some glimpses of what the program was like for the Little Free Libraries. And this is a story on the bottom here. I met a lady. She was leaving a Little Free Library. She was just checking it out. And then I said, hey, wait, I have books on yoga and meditation. And she just came back and she took a couple of books. So there is some success. People right there just took the books. And then here's another success. My wife helps me a lot as a volunteer, and we just went to a park and we had Bhagavad Gitas just in our car. So we saw a Little Free Library just then. We said, oh, wait, we have a Bhagavad Gita in our car. So I ran to the car, I got it, and we placed it there. So wherever you go, you take Bhagavad Gitas. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that Jari Dekho Tare Ko Krishna Upadesh. So wherever you go, you spread Krishna consciousness. And this is a very simple, sublime way. You don't have to approach anybody on the street. You don't have to risk anything with COVID. It's a non-living entity, and it's great. Hospitals, this is very important because we, sometime or the other, it happens even to devotees who might go into a situation in a hospital. We might fall ill, or we might have a surgery. So what happens for them? So we put Bhagavad Gitas in the hospital. So all 5 hospitals, we put Bhagavad Gitas in 2019. In 2020 alone, we did 48 Bhagavad Gitas in Peter Lohit Hospital, which you might be familiar with in the Northeast. And then in the Southeast, we put 12 Gitas because that was our last batch of the soft bound Gitas in the South Health Campus Hospital. So in the hospitals, there's a success story from Red Deer. Actually, one lady was on the was recovering in the hospital, and she said, I'm interested in Eastern spirituality. And the hospital has a spiritual care practitioner. So the spiritual care practitioner said, I have just the thing. And she brought the Bhagavad Gita and gave it to her. So in this way, people are getting access to our Vedic wisdom, and they may not be from traditional backgrounds, but that's okay. This is something that they can always take. Then we did a hotel. So I went to a hotel when I was at work, and then I asked the hotel owner there, can you take Bhagavad Gitas? It's a donation from our center in Calgary, and it's in Marwayne. So not only we do distribution just in Calgary, but we go in different parts of Alberta. We go to Saskatchewan, we go to British Columbia, small towns. We want the Krishna consciousness to go to even small towns so that people can get the mercy. So in a hotel, you might have seen a Bible. So right next to the Bible, we place the Bhagavad Gita as a book of yoga and wisdom. And people just take it, and they may be drinking or they may be eating lots of meat, but maybe if they see a Bhagavad Gita, it might change their life. So these are some ways to do it, and we place 12 Gitas there. Small town yoga studio. So this was a pilot project we did this year. So we know that the yoga studios that are in the city, they're very commercialized, and people can be very much the yoga studio owners can be very much into impersonalism or different philosophies. But the small towns, town of 20,000 out far away from Calgary, they can be very open-minded towards spirituality. Some of the yoga teachers have been to Rishikesh, for example. They've been to India. So they really appreciate, and we thought, okay, why don't we send them books? And they sponsor the shipping costs, and it went to Swift Current, Saskatchewan, which is a town when you go towards Regina, 5 hours from Calgary, and then Fort St. John, which is probably 10, 12 hours away from Calgary. It's into the British Columbia past Grand Prairie. So some yoga studios there, they took not only Bhagavad Gitas, but we also gave them small books, because the Bhagavad Gita can be very in-depth in terms of philosophy, and sometimes small books are also can be sponsored, and we can also distribute books like that. And we ship these books from Calgary, and it goes there. So we had success with that. And this is just today. We had a school libraries. We had a project about 150 schools across North America, where we placed Bhagavad-Gita. So 11 Bhagavad-Gitas went here. It went to school libraries in Alberta, British Columbia, and even Alaska. So this is a large project where there were about 150 schools, and in our Calgary zone, we were close to about 11 schools. So we were given the opportunity to use the Shastradan to have it go into different schools, so that it goes into the library and people can there take it and read it. So that's the school libraries there. And we also want to thank our volunteers who do participate in the Shastradan project. So that would be Bhakti Monica Patel and her whole family, who went out in the summer on bikes with backpacks and Bhagavad Gitas. We have Bamsi Bihari Prabhu and Sarvamangla Devi Dasi, who did the outreach programs at the for the university level. We had Bhakta Abhay Kumar, Adirup Gordas, Amit Kalra. We had Bhakti Morgan, whose son River, she went around and distributing books and LFLs. We had Dwarkadish Krishna Prabhu, who would receive the books and help with storing it, and Ananda Madhav Prabhu and Bhakta Amit Chaudhary, who helped distribute in LFL. So the picture on the left here is from January this year. We organized a training session. So if you're interested in becoming a volunteer, or you want to become a distributor at ISKCON Calgary, we do organize, we organize a training session. And here you see Amit Kalra showing the Bhagavad Gita to Amit Chaudhary. And then you have Abhay Kumar showing the Gita to his daughter, and so forth. So it's everyone, there's no bar. You can be of whatever age, you can come forward and participate. And we want to definitely thank our volunteers who helped with this project in distributing all these Bhagavad Gitas. So if you're inspired, you're interested, there are 3 different ways you can participate. You can become a sponsor of books, which Amogh Lila Prabhu was mentioning, that you can, spread this wisdom, teach this wisdom. You can sponsor books. You can also be a referral. So a referral is, let's say, somebody who's a hotel owner, somebody who works at a yoga studio, you have some contacts in terms of placements, hospices, things like that. Then you can give us referrals or become a book distributor, where you yourself want to learn the sadhana of book distribution, reading the books, talking to people about it, and distributing it. So it's a very simple and sublime and fun service. And if you'd like to contribute, we have our Facebook page, which is preferred for the donations. We have PayPal, you have the Sankirtan WhatsApp group. You can join the WhatsApp group and be part of it and share your ideas. For each box, it's $125 with a paperback, which goes to all these different institutions. If you want to sponsor a small amount for small books, for the LFLs, we use small books like Higher Taste, Perfection of Yoga, that help people in a great way who might not be ready to read a full Bhagavad Gita. Then you can sponsor any amount for, say, a small book. And if you have any questions, I have my email right there. If you have a request that, I want Bhagavad Gitas to go to this long-term care facility, or that that library, I have a contact, then let us know. We'll be happy to help. And yeah, that's the end of my presentation. And Atmaram Prabhu, you can take it away.
Thank you, Adwa Prabhu. We really thank you for doing a very nice presentation. Finally, I'd like to thank, on behalf of ISKCON Calgary and Radha Madhav Cultural Association, I'd like to thank all the devotees who participated in our first ever Gita recitation, which was nicely completed in time. Our thanks also goes to devotees who very eagerly participated in distributing Bhagavad Gita door to door, and devotees who sponsored the Bhagavad Gita in our Shastradan project. Our thanks also goes to His Grace Amogh Lila Prabhu for giving his valuable time in associating with us by giving a very nice presentation on Gita Jayanti. And finally, I'd like to thank our organizer, Raja Ram Das. Please say Hare Krishna to Raja Ram Das for organizing such a nice program today. And I'd also like to thank our media group, Salochan Hari Prabhu, to look after the whole program. He was here from the morning. He's still here right now. I'd like to thank him a lot. I'd like to thank Dwakatis Prabhu for helping us out on that side. And also, I'd like to announce we are giving away some free calendars. If you haven't got one, please contact Achyuta Mohan Das, Acharya Nidhi Das, and Rajaram Das, and they will deliver it to your house. So please, if you know somebody who wants calendars, you can contact those devotees and they will give it to you. And our upcoming programs, tomorrow we are having a non-stop 6-hour kirtan. We're turning to 12-hour kirtan from 8 p.m. till from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. So please don't miss it. And in the class will be given by Samir Prabhu from Montreal around 6:30. Also on Sunday, as part of our Sunday evening program, we have His Grace Anand Madhav Das giving us class. His topic will be how to relieve from distress to de-stress. So please join us also on Sunday. So this whole weekend is power-packed with lots of nice programs. So thank you all for joining us, and Hare Krishna to all of you. And finally, Gita Jayanti Mahotsav ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So we'll finish the program right now.